Hey Christian Faith kids, we are so excited that you are joining us for another awesome online church experience. It is the first week of August and we are jumping into a new idea to focus on, creativity. Creativity can mean a lot of things. When you first think of this word, what comes to mind? Being in an art class where you're asked to draw a picture or sculpt something out of a lump of clay? What about singing a song or playing an instrument? You could also apply creativity when you build a fort or make up rules to a new game you want to play. For our lessons, we are going to be focusing on creativity, meaning imagining what you could do because you were made in the image of God. Our God was the first to release his creative juices onto this world. He spoke and so it was, and that is what we are going to hear about today. You may have already heard the story of creation and the first 7 days of the world, but instead of thinking you already know this story, I challenge you to really see the incredible innovation behind God speaking something out of nothing. So today, devote yourself to uncover something you didn't already know. Let us worship the Lord together and give thanks for the amazing creativity he bestowed upon us and the world we live in.
Fight is on, I'll hold my ground. I'm gonna crash the lies of the enemy. I won't back down, 'cause I'm not alone. With you, my God, I'll conquer anything. In you I have the victory, victory. You're the undefeated. I know that you're the risen King, risen King. You're the undefeated. Oh, Jesus, you're the undefeated. Oh, Jesus, you're the undefeated. The fight is on, I'll hold my ground. I'm gonna crash the lies of the enemy. But when I doubt, he won't knock me out. 'Cause I know, my God, you fight for me. In you I have the victory, victory. You're the undefeated. I know that you're the risen King, risen King. You're the undefeated. Oh, Jesus, you're the undefeated. Oh, Jesus, you're the undefeated. I will fight, I will rise above. In you, my God, I am strong enough. I will fight, I will rise above. In you, my God, I am strong enough. I will fight, I will rise above. In you, my God, I am strong enough. I will fight, I will rise above. In you, my God, I am strong enough. In you I have the victory, victory. You're the undefeated. I know that you're the risen King, risen King. You're the undefeated. Oh, Jesus, you're the undefeated. Oh, Jesus, you're the undefeated.
Hello, I'm John, and welcome back to the Joy of Sculpting, where we take beautiful things and make even more beautiful things out of them. Let's take this sculpture of my co-host, Brandon. Isn't that lovely? So lifelike, his eyes, his hair. The detail really is marvelous. But what if we could make something new out of it? Let's see. Let's take a little bit of Brandon's hair off, like this. And we can just put that there. Oh, that's nice. Kind of squishy. And what do we have here? Oh, look. It's Brandon's little brain. Little brain. We'll put that right here, very carefully. And what if his ears can go here? There you go. Now let's take Brandon's happy eyes, and we can put those eyes, put them right here. Look at those wonderful eyes. Looking right back at you. What have these eyes seen? I don't know. Just put those right there. Now, what can we make with what's left? I think I have an idea. What if we make an edge right there? Yeah, and an edge right here. Well, that's nice. How about here? Oh, that's nice. Or how about here? Hey, I'm starting to see something. Here we go. Let's just use the board for extra pressure. Isn't that beautiful? It's a brick. You could build a big, beautiful house out of this brick. That's how strong it is.
Hey, John, have you seen my self-sculpture? I've been looking for it.
How nice.
Hello, everyone. I'm Brandon.
And I'm John, and welcome to
The Show.
Well done.
Yeah.
High five. Oh, that was close.
I'll get it. I'll figure it out one day.
Sure.
So what is all this stuff that you have?
Oh, I'm coming up with some new super mutants for a new comic book I'm creating.
Oh, well, that sounds fun. How do you come up with your new mutants?
Well, I have a jar of heads,
Okay.
a jar of creature bodies, and a jar of superpowers.
Oh, and you what? Do you just draw them out?
Sure,
one
I'll
by
show you.
one?
I'll show you. Watch this. Oh, I got a horse head.
All right.
And I'll just take this one. T-Rex body. Look at that.
Cool, cool.
And a superpower is static electricity.
Oh, static electricity. Huh.
Yeah. Not everyone can leap over tall buildings in a single bound, Brandon.
Oh, well, that's true, I guess.
There you go. I think we'll call this guy Sir Neighborly, the Sparkosaurus Rex.
I think I can make this more interesting.
Explain how.
All right.
Mutant Melee.
What am I looking at? Hey, that's me.
No, that's your avatar. Except now you're...
Sir Neighborly, the Sparkosaurus Rex. Superpower, static electricity. Versus Panda King. Superpower, interpretive bamboo. Ready? Melee!
It's working. Static electricity.
Ow.
Ow.
My turn.
What are you doing?
Music.
Winner! Round 2.
All right. Who am I going to be this time? How about...
Captain Fish Breath. Superpower, Fish Breath. Versus Bat Boy. Superpower, can fly. As long as he doesn't realize he's in the air.
What does he mean I can only fly unless I realize I'm in the air?
Ready? Melee!
Ah! I'm flying! Oh, no! Oh! Ow! This is a video game. I shouldn't be able to smell it. Oh, that's terrible.
Winner!
Oh, it still stinks. Get these things off me.
Yeah, it does stink.
Great, I'm gonna have to do laundry. Oh, or maybe burn them.
Wait, before you do that, it's Bible story time with Kellen.
Hey, everybody.
What's up, Kellen?
Not much. Say, what do you got there?
Laundry from our game of Mutant Melee.
Cool. Do you mind if I use it for the story?
Oh, sure thing.
Thanks. Our story starts with the very first verse of the very first chapter of the very first book of the Bible, Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth didn't have any shape. There was darkness over the surface of the waves. The Spirit of God was hovering over the waters. God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. God saw that the light was good. He separated the light from the darkness and called the light day and the darkness night. How's that for a beginning? And that was just day one. On the second day, God made the sky. God said, "Let there be a huge space between the waters." And that's exactly what happened. And God called the huge space sky. That was day two. But it was the next day when God's creativity really took root. God said, "Let the water under the sky be gathered into one place. Let the dry ground appear." God called the dry ground land. Then God said, "Let the land produce plants," and trees and plants and flowers sprung out of the ground. And God saw that it was good. That closes the book on day 3, but God wasn't finished. He had a whole sky to fill. God said, "Let there be lights in the huge space of the sky." And so the stars were created. And then God made the moon to rule over the night. He made the sun to rule over the day. And God saw that it was good. Day 4, boom, sun, moon, and stars. Without them, we wouldn't know what time of day it was. Think about that. Okay, stop thinking. Things are about to get wild. God said, "Let the seas be filled with living things." So God created every kind of living thing that fills the oceans. And God said, "Let birds fly above the earth across the huge space of the sky." And then God created every kind of bird that flies. And God saw that it was good. That was the 5th day. But it was the 6th day when God made his masterpiece. And I'm not talking about the platypus. God said, "Let the land produce every kind of animal: cows, horses, chickens, bugs, snakes, mice, rhinoceroses, orangutans, platypi," and it was all good. And then God said, wait for it, "Let us make human beings." Watch out, world. Here we come. So God created human beings in his own likeness. He created them as male and female. And God told them to take care of the earth and all that was in it. This was day 6. On the 7th day, God rested from all his work. But before he did that, he took a good look at everything he had created, and he saw that it was very good. The end.
That was incredible.
It really is incredible when you think about all the things God created. I mean, whether it's a huge planet in space or a tiny little eyelash. Like, oh,
Ow.
make a wish.
No, you are so weird.
What?
Get that away from me.
Yeah, there's really no limit to God's creativity. You can find it anywhere.
I found it sitting right next to me.
Aww. Thanks for the story, Kellen.
You got it. See you guys next time.
Later.
See ya.
What a great story.
Yeah, I
Love it.
loved how my gym shorts turned into an orangutan.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I took from the story too.
Yeah.
Reveal the question.
Awesome. Where do you see God's creativity?
Yeah, do you see it in a stream flowing through the woods?
Or in a star that's over 100 miles away?
Yeah, except stars are like millions of miles away, John.
So, over 100, right?
Right.
Talk about it with each other. Where do you see God's creativity?
And we will see you next time on the So-and-so Show.
It's right there. You can read it. It's in gold. No, my squirrel!
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how He created us and loves us so much that He made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. Now, for an amazing story. Inspired by the book of Genesis, chapters 1 and 2.
In the beginning. The very beginning. Before the first breath. Before the first flash of color. Before the first moment in time. There was nothing. Nothing. Nothing except God. But when God saw nothing, He saw a blank canvas. He saw the perfect backdrop for a work of art beyond imagination. So, God created. From absolutely nothing, He brought forth the heavens and the earth. But there was no shape or form. God's Spirit hovered over the dark emptiness. Then, God called out,
Let there be light.
Brilliant light shattered the darkness like golden trumpets on a still morning. Bright rays shimmered and danced in all the hues of the rainbow. God saw the light was good. He divided the light from the dark, calling the light day and the darkness night. Evening and morning together shaped the very first day of all time. Then God said,
Let there be a huge space between the waters. Let it separate water from water.
By His words alone, God shifted the waters, leaving a vast arching space above. The sky. Evening and morning rolled past. The second day, God lifted His voice again.
Let the water under the sky be gathered into one place. Let ground appear.
Dry land shrugged its way out of the water. Islands and vast continents and gritty deserts and towering mountains. God called the dry ground land, and He called all the gathered waters seas. But God had even bigger plans for this day.
Let the land produce plants, and let there be trees on the land.
In moments, tall grasses unfurled across the plains, and giant redwoods shot up from the dirt. Flowers and grapevines and carrots and corn sprouted and flourished. God saw that all of it was good. That evening and morning closed out the third day.
Let there be lights in the huge space of the sky. Let them separate the day from the night.
At the sound of God's voice, the blazing sun exploded into being. The silvery moon spun out. Stars and galaxies flooded into space, filling the universe. Pew, pew, pew. God set the sun to rule the day, and the moon to rule the night. And God saw it was good. That evening and morning made up the 4th day. But God wasn't done painting his masterpiece just yet.
Let the seas be filled with living things. Let birds fly above the earth and across the huge space of the sky.
Instantly, the seas and rivers and ponds writhed with dolphins and octopi, salmon and minnows. Eagles soared and bluebirds nested, while ostriches stretched their long necks. God saw they were good. That evening and morning formed the 5th day. But God kept working on his creation.
Let there be livestock and creatures that move along the ground and wild animals.
At once, animals of every kind appeared. Elephants thundered through the forests, and squirrels darted up tree trunks. Monkeys chattered, and pigs rolled happily in the mud. God saw it was all good. But he had one more creation in mind.
Let us make human beings so that they are like us. Let them rule over the fish and the birds. Let them rule over all the animals.
Then, with his own hands, God formed the very first man and the very first woman, Adam and Eve.
I'm me. And you are you.
And this place? It's beyond words.
Unlike the animals, God made people in his image to reflect him.
Have children and fill the earth. Rule over the fish and the birds and every living creature. I am giving you every plant on the earth for food.
God looked over everything he had created and saw that it was very good. That evening and morning were the 6th day. And on the 7th day, God rested. His work was finished. His glorious creation was complete. But because God had formed people in his image, they too could reflect his imagination and creativity. The possibilities ahead of them were endless.
Hearing this story of creation is so encouraging because not only did God create the things on this world, but there was nothing there for inspiration. Think about taking a picture. You're capturing the wonders that already exist in this world. When you draw a flower, a tree, or an animal, it is all taken from something you've seen before, or at least something that you know exists on this earth. God didn't need to copy an image. Every single animal and substance came from the words he spoke and became a unique creation that was unlike anything else. This leads us into the question of the day. Where do you see God's creativity? You could easily say all around, but get specific. Where do you see God's creativity in your day-to-day life? Every time that God made something, he stepped back and thought that it was good. And when God made people, it became personal. Think about it. God made us so we could think, act, and feel the way that God does, even if it's just a little bit. God is so expansive that we each individually cannot encompass his magnitude, which is why we all have such different interests, talents, and skills. Next time you look in the mirror, really examine the unique color of your eyes or the shape of your nose. See your reflection as someone made in the image of God, a God who made you and loves you even more than you can imagine, which leads us to our bottom line. There's no limit to God's creativity. We are all wonderfully and carefully made to be another unique addition to this vast world, and there is no limit to God's creativity and greatness. This is a great reminder that leads to our memory verse for the month, Psalm 145, verse 3. Lord, you are great. You are really worthy of praise. No one can completely understand how great you are. Remember our focus for the month, creativity, and that it is tied to how much you can do because you were made in God's image. There is so much you are capable of, and there are things that you haven't even yet tapped into that could be your greatest strength in life. However, the only way for you to reach your full, true potential, as God intended, is to have a relationship with God. In a moment, there will be a prayer that appears on the screen that will provide you with the words you can pray in order to dedicate your life to Jesus. It is the first step in creating a relationship with God that is everlasting and only grows stronger as time goes on. God took the time to make you perfectly unique and bestow upon you an influence that no one else can copy. Invite him into your life and see just how far your creativity can go.
The fight is on. I'll hold my ground. I'm gonna crash the lies of the enemy. I won't back down.